All right, hello everybody, and welcome to one of the final races of the first round of the Swiss bracket of the Hollow Knight All Skills Tournament 2021. This match is between ColbyWan and LocusSK. I'm Spicy, and I'm joined by Collie right now, and we will be calming this match.
Oh. It should be a really good race. I had the previews pulled up, and it looks like they're less than a minute apart, so it should be pretty close.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see this one. All right, we got the race layout, so we will see if the runners are ready, and then count them down when they are.
You want to give him a countdown, Spicy?
Sure. All right, and they are off.
All right.
Of course, it'll be a second with stream delay, but they will be off in a moment.
Here we go.
They're looking really synced on loading.
Yeah, they are.
Which will make the job easier for the
Very
stream
nice.
team. So Kane's Pass here, as always, is kind of an auto-scroller, nothing too interesting going on. You can only lose a second or gain a second, depending on like Vengefly RNG and soft falls, but that's about it. So we should see the runners really close at this point, within a second or two of each other.
Got a hard fall from a Locust, it looked like.
Yeah. But overall, really solid Kane's Pass from both of them. Looks
sure.
like they're
It's the 52 and a 53, so they're very close still. You're going to see them start jumping here. There's a slow zone in Dirtmouth, and if you're jumping, you don't have to be affected by the slow zone, so it is faster. The full jumps, the further away from the ground you are, you will keep going your normal walking speed.
Yeah, it's actually really annoying to do completely optimally, because every
really
frame
is.
you're on the ground, you go slower. So. Yeah, the runner's still really in sync. We'll see if the Gruzzes desync them here. And neither of them get a Gruzz.
Nice.
Another opportunity for them to desync coming up will be the double spike kill. See if one or both of them will get it.
Oh, Locust missed it. So just a couple seconds, 1 second off, 2 seconds coming out of that transition. Still anyone's race. We're still very, very early. Anything could happen.
Yeah. A death in this category will usually cost somewhere in the realm of a minute and a half to 2.5 minutes in most places. So pretty much any run is still winnable for either side if someone messes up. Seeing them come up on Statue Pogo, a trick that I personally struggle with a lot. Let's see if they get it.
Colby is the upper seed. Locust did not have a submitted PB when seeding occurred, So Colby is, I believe, 22nd seed and Locus is 47th, but their PBs are very close. Colby's got a 55-52 and Locus has a 56-42.
Yeah, so we should be hoping for a really close race here. As has been shown by these first couple minutes, Locus entering False Night only 2 seconds behind Colby.
Both very solid runners.
And they get similar False Night RNG. They've really been like matched completely on RNG so far this run.
Very nice to see that. You hate to see something be set off just by RNG.
Yeah, for sure. Though I would like to see a high count Balder spit at some point. Well, that's why I said I wanted to see the Balder spit axe. If I say I want it, we won't commentators curse them.
It's like only a second apart on VS. Yeah, I believe there was 8 spits in the race. That was just a couple hours ago. That's the largest I've heard of so far.
Yeah, that's the tourney record.
Yeah, for tourney.
I think the overall record's like 20, which is insane.
It's 19, I believe, last I heard.
Yeah, that might be right. Because it's a 50% chance for each spit to be a Balder. So to get it like 19, 20 times, everyone knows. Who knows statistics knows that's not good.
No 20 spit Balders here. They're both
no, there is
pretty
not.
quickly.
Yeah, slight variation in the Balder RNG for them, but still only about 1.5 seconds of difference with the RNG there.
Locus is actually coming out of that transition just a little bit earlier. The other Balder, the Balder we're about to come up on, we don't have to worry about the spits because we will do a quick kill on it. You will see them walk right up to where the Balder wakes up. They'll walk back, shoot a fireball, and that fireball will hit off screen 4 times, and then we don't even have to worry about spits.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, that only happens at that Balder. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the game as far as I'm aware, or at least nowhere else useful for runs.
Locus just barely missing that fireball skip.
Yeah. That's a deceptively tough one. I feel like it's the waiting. You have to do it later than the other ones.
Yeah,
so.
Especially with nerves, it's really easy to do it too early.
Yeah. Yeah, this has got to be the most synced any 2 runners have been 5 minutes into the run. They're less than 1 second off, it looks like.
They both nailed the second fireball skip. There's one more coming up shortly. This one is one of the tightest fireball skips. And they both nailed it very cleanly.
Yeah, it's really easy to bonk your head on that platform and not get it.
Coming up on the first Moss Knight here, it takes 3 fireballs and 1 nail hit to kill the Moss Knight. If you get them to jump back like Colby just did, You can double hit one of your fireballs, which saves you some soul for the next room. So you have to spend less time gathering soul. And they actually both got that double fireball quick kill.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of time save, and it also gives you some extra soul going into this next room because you need to be leaving it with a minimum of 8. And if you don't do the double kill, you'll have to turn around and hit a Vengefly somewhere, which loses a little bit of time.
Both going into the double Moss Knights at 4 health, which is very comfy.
See, both of them got the bad RNG at the Moss Knights, which is why they're jumping around them. They need to let the second Knight get close enough that it'll get hit by the fireball when they use it on the first one.
It's very easy to take damage down there if you get that bad RNG. You can kind of get tangled up in that left Moss Knight if he doesn't back up for you.
Yeah, definitely. Both runners are on their way into Hornet 1. This fight is pretty simple. And not too RNG dependent, but if she does some really big jumps, she can lose you a lot of time as you follow her across the arena.
Loc on 1 health.
Oh yeah, that's scary. Heal Locus. Oh my gosh, that nail throw! I thought that hit him. I was so sure. I had a heart attack.
Safely out of Hornet.
Locus said he's not giving up the sink. At this point, it looks like Locus is about 2 seconds behind, which is rather insignificant at this point in the run. They're essentially tied. This is definitely the closest match so far of this tournament. So now they're just going to be making their way through Fungal Waste, which has a lot of nifty inventory drops above acid pools and the like. And both these runners should nail them. We see ColbyWan get stuck a little bit out of his inventory drop, but get it mostly clean. Locus might pick up a short amount of time from him there.
Both runners taking the lower route through this room. Slightly faster, but less opportunities for soul collection.
Yeah, it's one of the rare segments where runners really tend to vary on which one they take. I know I personally go top. I know a lot of people also go top. But the lower route, I believe, is like 0.1 or 0.3 seconds faster if done optimally. But you don't get that soul, as Collie said. So that's why there's the mix-up in strats.
Coming up on Epogo now. So the runners will go off of the spore from the sporg, as well as the explosion, to get a little boost over that ledge that we otherwise couldn't jump over. Both getting it very cleanly first try.
Yeah, that trick is, especially for newer runners, deceptively difficult. It's really easy to take damage there, which can make the rest of the segment scarier, or even just miss it altogether. So it's nice to see him get it first try.
Both picking up Claw again. Looks like they're still about 2 seconds apart.
Looks like about 3 now, but still extremely close. Now the runners will be making their way to Gruzmother and the Shade Skip by Salubra. And we'll see some opportunity for time loss or gain there, both in their cleanup of Gruzmother and whether or not their shade decides to fireball at them. So look out for that as that comes up. Quacksilver in chat says, what's the over-under for the max number of room transitions these two will be separated by? At this point, I'm going to say 15. That's my guess. Because there's some movement heavy sections, and if someone dies, it'll be somewhere on there.
I'm going to say no deaths, and we'll see like maybe 10 tops.
Definitely a solid prediction.
Hopefully that's not commentator's curse.
See, I like to go for reverse commentator's curse. Predict the bad so the good happens. Yeah, pretty solid Gruz Mothers from both runners. Colby will get a pretty solid cleanup, but the Gruzes are not behaving for him.
Basically the same. Oh, on 1 health again. But it's okay. We have a bench right here.
Yeah. They both get gate storage and accidentally dash backwards because of it. It's really easy to happen, especially if you struggle with getting it consistently. Yeah. Your muscle memory will just like kick right in and you'll just start dashing and cancel your gate storage.
We do pick up Shaman Stone here. It makes the spells much more powerful. It is worth the time and the geo that it takes to pick it up. So we do pick it up in this run.
Yeah. And we're seeing them both die to the enemy with the highest kill rate in the game, the Husk outside Salubra. Well, maybe any percent Watcher Knights beats it, I don't know. But they both cleanly get the Shade Skid and are on to the dash segment of the run, Blue Lake. This is easily the most entertaining part of the run, where runners just get to mash, jump, and dash for about 15 to 20 seconds. Beyond Gorman asks, do we know what Locus's PB is?
The PB I could find for Locust, there's not one on the leaderboards yet, but 5642 is what I found in Discord. I don't know if he's gotten one since then. It was maybe a week ago.
Yeah, and Colby is 5540, you said?
5550.
So they're really close here, within a minute on PB. So expect a really good race all the way through here.
They're about 8 seconds apart now. Still plenty of time to catch up either way. We're coming up on Gorgeous Husk. Gorgeous Husk is important because it gives us 420 geo plus the geo from the husks outside. We are going to come up on Dash Slash soon, which costs 800 geo, so geo routing is pretty tight in the first part of this category.
Yeah, so what runners are going to want to see here is they're going to want to leave Gorgeous Husk with at least 705 geo and comfortably somewhere in the 17s of geo. And we will see as they load back in what they ended up with. It looked like Locust missed a bit from Gorgeous Husk.
Yeah, I think Locust might be just a little low, which there are opportunities to get more geo, but it is time loss. And it makes this next split a little more dangerous if you have to collect extra geo.
Yeah, so Colby has a comfortable 712 geo. Yeah, and Locust only has 697. Yeah, that means that Locust will probably have to kill an extra Hopper or a Primal Aspid or two as they collect their geo, which will lose them some time.
Each row of hoppers here. Colby's coming up on him will give you 48 geo if you pick all of it up. And that is why we need to have at least 704, 705 coming into this split. It just costs a lot of time to have to kill more than these 2 rows.
Yeah. Seeing some interesting hopper strats from Colby.
Colby is...
for the second row. And he's looking like he's getting in some danger. Locus seems to get through it cleaner, but realizes they don't have enough geo and is going after the acid. And now they're at 799.
That's always frustrating to have in a run.
Yeah.
Is that 799? But he's got it.
They pick it up, and because they were faster on the second row of hoppers than Colby, the runners are about synced at this point, assuming... actually, I won't say that. Okay, now that they're saying assuming Colby doesn't die.
It is safe now. We do save quit here, so 1 health does not matter anymore.
Yeah, because when you come back into the game, you'll go back on the bench, obviously. So they'll both be at 5 health.
Locus is just barely ahead at this point. Did make up that time.
Bam. Fin.
Yeah, there's about a 4-second difference in Locus's favor right now.
The next thing the runners are going to get is going to be Shade Soul. So on this patch, we can get Shade Soul without having to go get Elegant Key. So we never actually have to see Sly at all on this patch. There is the dash slash lets us lever skip in city, and then there is not an extra room like there is on current patch. So you can actually reach the lever with that nail art, get Shade Soul much earlier than we ordinarily would.
Yeah, dash slash is really useful in this run for that, as well as just to skip a couple of the really bad rooms in Sanctum where that would be mostly RNG otherwise.
Colby struggled just a little bit on that lever.
Yeah, and we don't see a safety bench from him, which is understandable as a runner of his caliber, especially when you're coming in at 4 mass.
Especially in a race this close. Ooh, takes a hit there.
But yeah, I would like to see him heal before Soul Sanctum, because you can easily take 2 damage without being able to really influence it in Sanctum.
Two health Sanctum is definitely very scary.
Yeah, I assume Colby will heal on the elevator coming down from Shade Soul. And that's just what they're waiting for. But
you can see them collecting geo here. The next thing that we need geo for is King Station Stag after we are done in Sanctum. So they will need 300 geo by the time they are leaving Sanctum.
And here is the lever skip using dash slash to allow us to skip the Elegant Key and get Shaman Stone without fighting the Soul Warrior in that room. So Locus here will be going into Sanctum with full health. Colby did heal, so now he's at 3, which is relatively safe. If you don't make any mistakes, it's pretty difficult to die at 3 unless you get really, really awful RNG. But it is possible. Hopefully he heals after this Soul Warrior.
Sanctum, anything is possible. You can go down really quickly.
Colby is scaring me.
Colby does get that Soul Twister out of the way, so that's nice to see.
So after giving both of us and probably everyone else watching a heart attack, Colby manages to make it through Sanctum damageless. And it looks like he will be about 10 seconds behind Locus, maybe 15. Yeah, it's about 15 seconds behind at this point. See Colby here getting really unfortunate Soul Master RNG. Those dives are about the worst thing he can do because there's no opportunity to double hit off a dive.
Down to 1 health for Colby.
All right, but Colby will finish the first phase with an extra 3 soul, so we'll be able to heal before phase 2. Seeing some nice up slashes from Colby on Soul Master as he does his dive phase, and a quick kill as soon as it ends.
Safely finishing.
Yeah.
You saw him heal there. We get full soul once you pick up dive, so using whatever soul you have left to heal is definitely a good choice here.
So we're starting to see the runners separate a little bit. At this point, they are 2 transitions apart. And probably about 30 seconds. Which is still not super significant. We have a lot of possible time save, times lost, both due to RNG and just good play still left in the run.
Both runners are looking very nice on Geo. There's plenty of places to pick up Geo on the way to King Station. Neither one of them should be struggling in the Geo department at all.
Yeah, having 250, 260 Geo while leaving Sanctum is usually pretty safe. They'll kill a few husks, probably, in the room Locus is about to enter and Watcher's Spire. The Great Husk Sentry there can be mean and block a lot of your Geo. So hopefully that won't happen to them. Yeah, it looks like it happened to Locus, though.
Colby saving the grub. Let's go.
We appreciate that. Might cost a second or two, but it's pretty quick and it's for the people. So
the grub is worth it.
And the Locus will get the last Geo they need to get above 300 here. And that'll be the real last Geo choke point of the run. Before we have to buy our next thing, we get the Watcher's Spire chest, which gives us more than enough Geo for the remaining stag stations.
Did Locust miss that bench? I know Colby took the bench.
I didn't see him sit down. Oh no.
That's very unfortunate. Oh, he remembered. He's gonna sit here at King Station, which will lose him time, but it won't lose him as much time as save quitting back to dive, which is a hard save.
Yeah, optimally, if Locus does the way back as quick as possible using the C dash that he'll have when he spawns, he should save. I mean, he's not save, but it should take him about 45 seconds as opposed to the bench. So that's really unfortunate. But Locus is in the lead, so they had the time to play with.
we're on our way to pick up Crystal Heart, which is our next skill. It is also the super dash. Crystal Peak is very tight. You have to go through it very quickly to be able to hit all your cycles the way you need to. And if you don't hit those cycles, it's very easy to take damage. The other thing is that this is kind of a long section without a bench. We won't be able to bench anywhere because at the end of getting D-Dark, which comes after this, we will save quit, or after Dream Nail, we will save quit back to that Spire bench, or in Locus's case, King Station bench.
Yeah, so this section... Oh, go ahead.
You're fine. A death here is definitely a hard one to come back from. Not impossible, but it is going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah. And we just saw a nice Pog Axe from Locus, showing off some skill for us. Something to note about Crystal Peaks in this category, compared to any percent, which some people might be more familiar with, is that we don't get to quit out here. So it's much scarier. You're not going to see a lot of the damage tank strats that you see like any percent runners do, because health actually matters for a much longer period of time.
Locus getting through safely.
Yeah, Locus looking really comfortable with a nice 5 mass. So according to chat, there's about 35 seconds between the runners right now. Colby did get a faster cycle in the room he just went through, so that'll probably be a little bit less, probably closer to 32 now. Oh, but Locus did do Pog Axe, so maybe not. Ooh, no underplat from Locus. Unfortunate. Now we know Colby is a man of the people, so we can expect an underplat from him. And Colby elects to go for the damage cycle on the CP lasers. He's approaching underplat, and he gets it.
He does it. Of course he does.
Seeing some pretty solid crusher cycles from Locus. He gets through that room. And Locus skips the grub.
Not saving the grub. You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Locus coming up on the first dark room. We do not get Lantern in this category because it is not a skill. It's also very expensive and it costs a lot of time to get, so we just opt not to get it. You can do safe strats in this room, but it can get pretty sketchy pretty quickly if you make a mistake. He's going for the quick strats with the dashes.
Yeah, Locus seemed to struggle once or twice, but he does manage to get it. Yeah.
Colby saving the grub.
Let's see what Colby does in the dark room coming up. Colby will also go for the fast strat and miss it right there. If you miss the strat, you kind of need to leave the room because the Crystal Hunters get in uncomfortable places and can start to mess you up. Really scary for Locus right here. 1 health and still goes for the pogo on those crystals there. Oh my gosh, he was like pixels away from getting hit by that Crystal Hunter. I just
was very close. Unfortunately, Locus being on 1 health cannot do this skip to get out of this animation quickly. We'll see if Colby will be able to do it, but there is a way to tank damage and be knocked out of this animation so that you don't have to be stuck here.
Yeah. We're seeing Colby's running into a little bit of trouble at the dark room. Hopefully they can get it here. And it looks like they have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Grabbing a little bit of soul off that Glimback.
So everything considered, it looks like Locus will still be ahead after this, even with the loss to the bench, because Colby ran into those issues at the dark room. But it will be a really close race once that's all said and done. So.
Colby will have the health to showcase this skip.
Yeah, this is a really neat trick that like conserves the momentum from the dash slash and then runs into the spikes down below to get you a nice respawn before the animations of the acquiring D-Dark is done. And Locus will skip the dream platforms with C-Dash and go for underplat there.
Not the underplat, making up for it.
Yeah, I respect that. That underplat is difficult. And if you fall, it loses a decent bit of time. So respect to Locus for going for that.
Locus making their way back to the Spire bench, which is the bench that we would have quit back to.
Yeah. So Locus entered their current bench at 2720. We'll see how much the Spire bench loses them. Or missing the Spire bench loses them by looking at their time getting across here.
Almost forgot that he broke that floor there, but he saved it.
Yeah, it's really easy to forget that in the case you do forget this.
Muscle memory kicks in really hard when you get to this section.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like the Spire bench lost to Locus about 35 seconds. And we'll see that where Colby will spawn right back in and is now only about 20 seconds behind Locus.
Watcher Knights in this category die pretty quickly. We do have D-Dark and Shade Soul. Each Watcher Knight takes 3 full D-Darks to kill. So if you get them together like they are on Locus's screen here, you can just D-Dark them 3 times and the whole pair will be taken care of.
Yeah, but while the fight is easy, it is very difficult to do optimally because if they decide to roll away from you or bounce at the wrong time, you can lose a lot of time. We see Locus getting very unfavorable Watcher Knights RNG, but they do align for them at the end there for that final D-Dark. And Colby off a pretty clean Watcher Knights. You might be thinking they're at 2 health. How was that clean Watcher Knights? You do a lot of damage tanking on Watcher Knights in this category because risk of death is kind of low. So whatever just gives you the most DPS is what you do.
And you do get a... Go ahead.
I was going to say, of course, it's really easy to over-damage tank and get carried away and then actually die there.
You do get a full heal when you pick up this first streamer. So even if you are on 1 health, you should be very safe once you're done with the fight.
Yeah, so both runners are coming up on the Isma's skips. It's a set of 3 skips, 1 spike tunnel skip and 2 acid skips that we've seen a lot of people struggle with over the course of this tournament. Both Locus and Colby are pretty solid runners, so hopefully they won't have any issue. But if you run into trouble at the spike tunnel, it can mess up some even really experienced runners. And Locus takes a very unfortunate hit on the elevator while trying to inventory drop out of Watcher's Spire, and respawns all the way back at the start of the room. Now looks like it'll leave them and Colby only about 10 seconds apart.
Yeah, 11 seconds, 10 seconds.
Neither of them elect to take the safety bench in Spire for the skips, which you won't see most runners that are more experienced with the skips take.
First try spike tunnel from Locus, very nice.
Yeah, first try spike tunnel is always good to see. And it looks like first try on the first acid skip. Colby goes first try spike tunnel as well. And Colby will match Locus with first try in the second acid skip too. And both runners go 3 for 3, no fails on the acid skip, which is very impressive.
Very clean skips on both sides.
Especially in a tournament setting with the nerves and all that. Not messing up any of those skips is commendable.
Yeah, nerves can really get to you in this particular set of skips.
We're coming up to a little bit of RNG where the sentries, or Ravas as some people call them, can knock you out of your C-dash. Locus hits the third one, meaning they don't lose that much time. But Colby hits the first one, which will lose them at least a few seconds. At this point, apart. It looks like the run. Yeah, beat me to it.
So you'll see them by this bench, dash out of the room, and dash back in. It's not necessarily faster in real time, but it's faster in game time because we are... the timers don't run during loads, so it saves a little bit of time there.
So these Molochs can be kind of difficult to not get hit by. We'll see Locus getting kind of bullied by them. They'll probably elect to heal either now or before the next one, and they heal now. Colby's also getting bullied by the Molochs. Coming up is Basin Skip, which is a pretty optional skip that saves, I believe, 3 seconds if done first try, but is very easy to miss. And Locus gets it right away. And Colby misses it once and gets it on the second try. Very good from both the runners.
On 1 health, which generally is safe in this fight. If you get some bad RNG, it could go bad quickly. Ooh,
oh,
Locus.
no. That's really unfortunate. As far as places to die goes, this is not one of the worst. It'll be about a minute, but dying so late in the fight, it just adds to that.
Colby on his way to pick up wings and taking the lead.
Unfortunately, we don't see the Insomnia wing skip from Colby.
Colby is going to be heading to what is probably the most difficult fight in this category, which is Hornet 2. She can be taken care of pretty quickly with Shade Soul and D-Dark, but it can also go very bad very quickly. It is probably one of the hardest barriers for people that are new to running and new to this category to get through.
Yeah, Hornet 2, unlike a lot of the bosses in this game, is a very reactive fight where you kind of have to wait and see what she does and respond to it, as opposed to just kind of go for your damage cycle. And I don't know where I was going with that, but basically you need to wait and see, and she can give some very strange movement that can cause a lot of issues.
There are two possible safety benches runners can take on the way to Hornet 2. So you can take the bench at King Station, which will save you a little bit of time if you live and lose you a little bit of time if you die. You can take the camp bench that is right above Hornet, which will be quicker if you die, but takes quite a bit of time loss if you live. Most runners of this caliber won't take any safety benches. We'll see if Colby decides to take one. Colby is going for the camp bench. He may know that he's got a lead on Locus now, so taking that safe choice just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, and in a race setting, it's not really an awful strategy because it doesn't lose that much time. I think it's about 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Which, especially when you have a lead, is probably the safe play, because now Colby can die here and still have a chance to maintain his lead on Locust.
We're doing some parries for Colby.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Hornet 2 can parry spells, which is really frustrating given that Shade Soul is the most optimal damage on her in this category. And that if you're right up against her and she parries your Shade Soul, you'll get hit and there's nothing you can do to dodge it.
Just not taking the camp bench.
Which is understandable given their time deficit right now, if they're aware of it.
Colby gets Hornet. There we go.
Yeah, a pretty clean Hornet 2 fight from Colby. Finishing the fight with 2 masks is not that rare. It's pretty hard to do Hornet 2 damageless because of just how quick and unpredictable she can be.
Colby picking up King's Brand, which is what will give us access to the Abyss later on to pick up our last couple skills of the category. So we'll see that come into use later. not invalidating his run.
Seeing a really solid Hornet 2 fight from Locus here. She should be just about dead. And yeah, she dies right there. And at this point, it looks like Locus is about, I'd say, probably about 40 seconds behind.
Which is really not bad, considering there was a death.
No, yeah. Locus recovered from that death very well. It was a smart decision not to take the camp bench and get that time back.
Colby's going to save this grub as well.
All right, chat's correcting me. Colby is 53 seconds ahead currently.
Lucas also not invalidating the run. That's good. That's what we'd like to see.
Yeah, so if you do the early control too early there, you can invalidate your run by going invisible. For the purposes of this tournament, it is, I believe, a 5-second time penalty if you do, but neither runner does, thankfully.
Colby's on the way to get our next nail art, which is Cyclone Slash. You may see him use this for breaking some walls later on in the run, and also it can be used for some quicker drops. Instead of using an inventory drop, you can use the Cyclone Slash. There's a couple places where it's a little more optimal, so we'll see if anyone uses those in these runs.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to look at the stat sheets that have come out and see how nail art usage differs between runners. I'm not sure if you've seen that in the Discord, but
yeah, it's really interesting to look at.
Yeah, some runners are using upwards of, I think, 40 nail arts during the run, while I think the minimum is like 11. There's a lot of variation that leads to little optimizations.
Bam. Finden.
Locus having a little bit of trouble getting up here. Lost his grip a couple times. You can see that Cyclone Slash showcased on Colby's side as he came down the well. Using the Cyclone Slash there makes that hard fall not happen. So we use Dash Slash the first time, Cyclone Slash the second time, and you'll see them use Great Slash the third time they come down the well.
Yeah, and they save progressively more with each nail art, but not significantly, so it's definitely a time save for any of them. I'm gonna see some nice inventory drops from Colby here through Fog Canyon. And
safely.
Yeah, really clean. Unfortunately, Locus gets one framed by that tick right there. Or maybe it's two frames. There's one or two frames that the tick can knock you out of your C dash. For some reason, Team Cherry code. And that's just unfortunate time loss and an extra bit of damage coming into Umu. Colby's about to start his Umu fight right here. I assume we'll see an attempt at the one cycle.
I don't believe Colby got one cycle in his PB, but we will see if it happens here.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of setting it up, though. It looks like Umu's a little bit below.
And it looks like Colby is actually possibly ahead of PB. It'll be very close to PB at this point.
Well, that's exciting to see. Tournament PBs are always cool.
This is the one cycle, unfortunately.
Yeah, he missed it by a decent margin, which might make this 2-cycle kind of difficult. That's why you see some people will go for the any percent 2-cycle method on Umu, even though it kind of removes the possibility of 1 cycle, because it's very easy to mess up your 2-cycle if you miss 1 cycle.
Miss the 2-cycle as well, so that will be a pretty significant time loss for Colby.
Yeah, it should definitely bring this match to pretty close to even if Locust can get their 1 cycle. It's definitely not an easy trick though, so we can't.
Unfortunately, after that, no longer on PvE pace either.
Unfortunate. Now Locust just misses the 1 cycle. I think they're a single fireball hit off. So hopefully they don't die here. They don't really need to gather much soul on Umu here. And they get an extra attack. Unfortunate. If they do make it through the fight at 1 mask, both runners today have just been giving us heart attacks. They will not let us rest. So we'll pay attention to the timers as they enter this cutscene here so that we can see the difference. Colby finishes Monument at 43.85. No, it looks like Locust is about 30 seconds behind, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, so it looks like Locust is about 27 seconds behind now. So it's an extremely close race.
Very close. The bench you just saw Colby take is a required bench. We will save quit back to this bench a couple times. So that's not one we can skip. It is no longer a safety bench in this category.
Yeah, and the reason they need to take that bench is because when you absorb Monument, it hard saves you down at the bottom of archives. So they don't want to take that. They need to bring the bench so that when they exit from getting Great Slash here, they're closer to Reefs.
Colby not getting the airwalk here. See if Locust gets it.
Colby running into a little bit of trouble with that platform, bashing his head against it a little bit, but makes it pass. A pretty clean room there, even considering.
That Uma was kind of an annoying place for Locust. Took care of it, though.
Being a good finish to the room from Locust.
Locust also not getting that airwalk.
Even though they missed the airwalk, it was a really quick Skulka room from Locust.
Yeah, pretty clean. Pretty clean from both of them. Not too terrible either way.
No. We'll see Colby get the quick cycle on the Durandus here. And then struggle to C-dash off that wall a little bit as Locust makes their way into the room.
Colby bringing up Great Slash, which is the last nail art that we get.
Yeah, Yeah, and Locus is not far behind and is C-dashing straight into thorns.
It's very easy to forget that C-dash if you get a little bit distracted.
Yeah. Locus will be picking up Great Slash, just a short time behind Colby here.
Colby now on the way to get Race, which is a spell that we will use exactly once, and we will use that to get Abyss Shriek. But it is a skill, and we need it to get Abyss Shriek, so we do still have to get it.
Yeah, and Abyss Shriek will be used pretty aggressively against the Hollow Knight at the end of this race. Now Colby is coming up on the Dart Fly arena. This isn't really a scary arena in terms of will they survive it or not, but it is scary in terms of how much time will I lose here, because the Dart Flies are really hard to manipulate exactly where you want them. They kind of always fly towards you, so if you get off cycle, it can become a mess. But we see a really clean one from Colby.
Very clean, and that Cyclone drop.
Seeing Locust run into a little bit more issue at this arena here, but is just about done with it. A solid ending to the arena.
Meanwhile, Colby is on the way to Dark Nest. We do not pick up Lantern like we said earlier. So this is the next section of Dark Rooms. There are 3 Dark Rooms in Deep Nest that we have to make it through safely. Very easy to take some damage there if you miss your jumps by just a little bit. But for the most part, it's just memorizing inputs and isn't usually too dangerous.
Yeah, I always joke that I feel more comfortable in that room in the dark than in the light at this point.
Oh, same. Absolutely same.
Because you're just narrowly avoiding so many spikes that you just don't see. Because
you don't have to look at those hazards, so they're less scary. Locus tanking some damage on the way, which is a little concerning.
Yeah, definitely. Though 3 health is still fairly safe for entering Deep Darkness, assuming they don't mess up any of the dark rooms. If we look at Locus, though, we'll see Locus is only at 2 masks, which is rather dangerous. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to heal or not. I assume if they know they're behind here that they won't. Which will make for some more scary viewing.
Locus's PB, as far as I could find, is 5642. It's not on speedrun.com yet, but it was posted in the Discord within the past week or so. And then Colby's is 5552.
And Colby pretty cleanly making it through the first couple dark rooms. And on the figured and final one. Makes it out of the 3rd dark room safely after taking a moment to gather some soul from a spider.
Colby safely in Beastden now. The other big hazard prior to entering this room would have been falling to the bottom of Distant Village. Again, we don't have lanterns, so you would have to climb up in the dark, which would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like Locus has made up some of their time here. They appear to only be about 20 seconds behind now. So this should be a really close ending.
Colby had plenty of soul, opting to take the fast way out of East End.
Yeah, we're seeing some nice cyclone drops from Colby here.
Looks like they're 19 or 20 seconds apart now, so still very close and getting closer.
Yeah, 19, 20 seconds going into THK, if they remain this distance, is definitely a reasonable margin that could be made up in that boss fight alone. Given that Colby gets really bad RNG or Locus gets really good RNG.
Yeah, the THK fight can honestly, it can go really well and go really poorly just based on the RNG you get. Colby's going for swag door. You love to see it.
Yeah, I love to see it.
Locuses as well. Pleasing the
both
people.
of them succeed.
Colby's on the sibling climb now. This can get kind of sketchy. Siblings do double damage. So with only 5 masks, if you get hit twice, you're suddenly on 1 mask. But he makes it through very cleanly.
Yeah. And Locus will be approaching the sibling climb right now. And see how they do. Fairly clean sibling climbs from both runners there.
You're going to see Colby save quit here. It is a hard save when you pick up Shade Cloak, but that animation is very long. So by exiting and coming back in, we do save time. And then you heard that dream nail for early control.
Yeah, and you just saw Locus miss the light switch in a lighthouse and have to go back for it. Which, because we don't time loads, is a pretty insignificant time loss, but it's still funny.
Got grabbed by some void tendrils there. Shade Cloak was not fully recovered from that previous dash.
Yeah. So the runners are about 22 seconds apart, according to chat here. And this is still very much a race if Locus has a better climb here or a much better THK than Colby.
Colby just picked up Abyss Shriek, which is our strongest spell.
Yeah, and you'll notice if you look at Locus's screen that their UI is actually broken.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they only have 4 health, it displays them at 5 masks. Hopefully that'll be fixed in the Abyss Shriek animation here, maybe? No, it doesn't go away for that. Never mind.
We'll be on the Abyss climb now, which can get pretty dicey. Those spikes kind of point towards you. They can be kind of scary. Always dunking on the spikes there. The unfortunate part when you take damage to these spikes is that it sets you back quite a ways. And sometimes, depending on where you dunk, you can get a little disoriented because of how far back it sets you.
Yeah, Colby just dunked on the spikes at a really unfortunate place.
Yeah.
Which will really give Locus a window here to come back. So if we pay attention to when the runners leave, the Abyss here, we should get like our final comparison before the end of the run.
Nice clean climb on Locus's part.
Yeah, very clean.
Definitely closing that gap.
Yeah, and it looks like Locus is about 19 seconds behind at this point. So it's all going to come down to this Hollow Knight fight. Locus will need a really good one to catch up here, but it is definitely possible.
Colby opting not to bench in Dirtmouth. 4 health should be okay for THK. Things can go wrong very quickly though. Not benching here either because that would interrupt our C-dash, which would lose a lot of time.
Yeah, especially if his lead. I'm not sure I agree with the choice here to go into THK with 4 mass. Though we might see Colby heal before the fight begins.
Also possible.
Because you can
in on full health.
Yeah, which will be an advantage on their part. You can get some really unfortunate parry RNG, as well as you just kind of want a damage tank for speed purposes in the fight here, usually.
Full health unless that UI is still broken.
Right. And I think it is. Because they never healed at any point.
First hit.
Yeah, and this looks like it's going to be Colby's race here. He's just about finished with the Hollow Knight. He's got one more spell to end it. So it's very unlikely that he dies here.
Colby's going to finish. I believe a high 56, maybe a low 57. Locus as well.
Yeah, but this is going to be an extremely close race. I think within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Probably. Though it looks like Colby did pull it out.
56, 58.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
1 second difference.
1 second.
What a rate.
Insane. GG's to both runners.
Huge GG's to both
Could not
runners.
have asked for
oh my
closer
gosh.
rates.
I certainly did not expect any race this close in the first round of the Swiss, let alone in this tournament. 1 second difference is insane on an hour-long run.
And with a death from Locus, too, he really pulled that back.
Yeah, it's really great on Locus's part, being able to make it that close after dying on Broken Vessel.
I'm going to go ahead and mark Colby as done. And then Locus as well. I believe that will send them Discord invites.
Yeah, it should.
Locus is going to do some mischief.
Oh, we're gonna see a Locust go probably kill Mila. Or maybe let Mila kill them. Or no. Locust, or never mind. Oh, let's see.
GG's Colby.
GG's Colby. That's a crazy close race. Oh my god.
Holy crap, my heart right now.
Hello, Locus. GG's.
Oh, Locust. GG's. What a race.
Is my
GG's, Locus. Oh my gosh.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
You're not
Yeah,
going to
we
go
can
kill Milo, are
Okay,
you?
cool. No, I'm just gonna go say hello. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, race was good.
Very close race.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty disappointed with myself for getting Spire Bench and for dying to Broken Vessel, but I guess I can't really ask.
Understandable. You really did
Much.
pull it back, though.
I mean, I didn't quite pull it back.
Not quite, but it.
Yeah, but
considering
1
it-
second.
It was really good that because I saw you miss the bench and then the death and still bring it back. That's impressive, man.
Yeah, I was waiting at the end. I wasn't sure if this was going to end on a tie. I don't even know what we would have
looked like
done
it was
there.
going to for a moment.
Yeah, there's some goofy stuff that happened that race. Also, like, I don't really heal going into Broken Vessel, like, regardless of what health I'm on, but he gave me, like, the most whack pattern ever.
You really did.
It was every time he was starting up the move that you want him to do, the like one where he just spits forever. He just got staggered. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to deal with actual attacks for longer. And then that happened like 3 different times.
I did the same thing. I kept staggering him right as he started the headbang.
Yeah, very unfortunate RNG from Broken Vessel.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And
that didn't keep me.
Umu. Extra
And Umu,
attack
yes.
rating.
Yeah, he gave me an extra 2. So that
Yeah,
was pretty even there.
Yeah, the RNG portions for most of the race, you guys got pretty similar RNG, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a fair race in that regard.
Yeah, I think for me, the point, because I was after Gorgeous Husk ahead of PB by 11 seconds. And then I just derped Hoppers. And from then on, I was just nervous, I guess.
Yeah, Hoppers was kind of scary to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't die, though.
You did not
You
die.
did
you're
not
correct.
die.
That's the important part.
I'm looking at this compared to my PB, and at Monarch Wings, I was 2 minutes and 40 seconds behind. And at THK, I was 15 seconds behind.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
That's really a comeback right there.
I need
That's
to
very
do runs
impressive.
to actually get a proper PB, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we were seeing a lot of risky situations from both runners throughout that run. Not many heals. Locust did not take the safety bench before Hornet 2.
Yeah, no, I know that fight. That fight, I feel like I did that fight pretty well there.
was a very
I was
nice
pretty
fight.
happy with it.
Yeah,
And
he
not
did a good
benching
job
was
with it.
definitely the correct choice.
The
Yeah.
only reason I took it is because I knew he died to Broken Vessel, and
Right.
I didn't want to meet the same
Right.
fate on a worse
I-
run back.
I would have made the same decision.
Yeah, that was
Given
definitely
the
a smart
situation.
decision.
Otherwise, never take the bench.
Yeah, and it sucks because I feel like my fight's my strong point, which is why I was so surprised with that Broken Vessel pattern. But that's okay. I'm not too stressed out about it.
Yeah, I mean, neither of you guys, or I guess you all just don't have any reason to be upset. It was a good race from both of you.
Very good race.
Yeah.
That was really exciting.
I hold
This-
myself to like pretty high standards, but at the very least, I think chat got quite an experience of a run to
Yeah.
watch. So.
The closest
That's
race
really
we've
the
had
end
so
goal.
far.
If Twitch chat enjoys themselves.
I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the closest race of the tournament.
Oh, I'm
Being
sure.
second
it will
apart.
be.
I would as well, because it's got to be less than a second, honestly.
Yeah, it would be
I
interesting
went
if-
into it because I jumped in Locust's stream, I think it was last Saturday after the other string of races. I was like, oh, his PB, he's quickly catching and beating my PB. Oh my. This is going to be really close.
Also, for reference, I think that's my 5th completed run of the category.
Oh wow.
So I was trying to learn 112 to begin with, and then the tournament kind of sucked me in, and I was like, God, I guess I should learn this category.
That's a really impressive run for your only 5th completed run. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's a little bit cheating because I've done a lot of segment practice, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Could I ask you guys, what is your actual final time on the timer with like hundredths of a second?
I already reset. mine.
Hundredths? I don't. Where can I find that?
Well, Locus already reset there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was
My
just
layout
curious.
doesn't have it to the hundredths,
I gotcha.
and I didn't have a second setup.
Sure.
Understandable.
Yeah, that's a really close race. Great race from both of you.
Yeah, really solid
guess.
performance.
Does the chat have any questions for the runners?
Locus, it looks like Slorent and Erase Proco wants to say hi to you.
I don't think I have any questions or anything left.
No, I just want to give a shout out to you folks, the speed gaming community and all that. They're making this tournament run like butter, and the commentary's great. And Twitch chat showing their support. I just love all of it.
Does butter run? Sorry to. I'm just sorry. Saw a stupid joke. Opportunity I had to take.
We do have a quick question from chat. Solariant wants to know if you, Locus, knew that your UI was broken after you took damage in the abyss.
I saw that I took damage coming out of Shade Cloak, and I didn't know why I didn't take damage. Yeah, as I've never seen that happen before. So I saw that I didn't take damage, but I wasn't sure whether it was a UI break thing or whether I just straight up didn't take damage because I was still,
Right.
like close to the.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I haven't seen that before, but I noticed it.
Yeah. And it did, the first time you took damage to THK, it did do 2 damage, so it was just a visual glitch.
Oh, no wonder. I was like, I feel like I'm taking damage really fast this fight. But I think I had forgotten about it at that point. Yeah, that was a run for sure. I think if I haven't had a PB without a death in it yet, so I think once I get a PB without a death, it'll look pretty good. But
That'll be a really nice run.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
But GG's, and thanks for commenting, guys.
Yeah,
It's,
GG's.
Good game, guys.
thanks for
Sierra,
putting on a
I
great
did not
race for us.
know.
All right, then. Yeah, thanks, runners, for putting on a great race for us. That's definitely going to be one of the more exciting ones of the tournament, I feel.
Yeah, it'll be hard to beat that.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Thanks, Collie, for some great co-commentary.
Thank you, Spicy. Thank
and
you to both
I-
of our racers.
Yes, and I believe we'll wrap it up there. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Chat, you were cute as always. So enjoy your night. Or
Have a
day,
nice night,
depending
guys.
on where you are.
Yeah, thanks, guys.